you. You know what? And everything that I do, come on, I do it for you. And that's true.
So this is a video about what I pack in my special needs diaper book bag. And this is for my soon-to-be 4-year-old daughter. She is special needs, so she has a little bit of medical equipment. She also has a feeding tube. So these are just some items that I do pack for our day-to-day living, when we're just running errands in the store, or when we have a doctor's appointment. I do pack a little bit more if we are going over a relative's house, or we're going to be somewhere where we'll be out for a long time. But for the most part, this is kind of what I pack just for any daily activities. The first thing that I do is some washcloths. I do pack more than this, but I do always pack washcloths because she does have severe reflux, so sometimes she can vomit and I may have to do an outfit change and wipe her down. So I just make sure to keep extra washcloths on me. She does have a Mickey button, or a G button, which is a feeding tube that goes directly into her stomach. So I do tend to carry her feeding pump around if we're going to be out for longer than an hour or so. And I just pack extra feeding bags. Of course, like I said, if we're out longer, then I'll pack more than 2 bags, just in case one of the bags kind of is faulty or malfunctions. I do also pack syringes. These are 60 ml syringes, and this is just for her water flushes, or if I decide to give her a bolus feed. Of course, I pack wipes, diapers, and I do pack some baby food. I may pack 1 or 2 containers of baby food. While she is tube fed, she does take a little bit by mouth, but only the kind of like stage 1, stage 2 puree baby food. So we do tend to feed her that if I do have time. Otherwise, I do those as a bolus feed as well if I need to. And then in this package, this is kind of like my emergency kit package. So I have some Q-tips just in case I need to clean around or under her G button. There are some split sponges in here as well, in case her button starts leaking or anything like that. Then I have those to kind of protect her clothes and not make so much of a mess. In these little pockets, I just have these little hooks, and I actually use them as little hacks in my car to hang her feeding pump, because unfortunately I don't have a medical car seat at this time that has any type of IV pole attachment for her feeding pump. And in this compartment, I just pack some extra venting tubes to kind of get any air out of her belly if she has any, and then an extra extension set in case the one I have either gets ruined or she pulls it out, because she does do that from time to time and throws it and I can't find it. This is actually some steroid cream. I really have only had to use this in the 4 years that she's had her button, maybe twice, and it's really just when she's getting any type of granulation tissue buildup or inflammation. I just put a little bit on there a few times a day and she's normally fine. I also pack a little 5 ml syringe. This is actually used if she pulls out her feeding tube or it comes out for whatever reason, because she has pulled them out on several occasions. And this is just what helps me fill the balloon part of the feeding tube back up when I'm inserting it back into her belly. And I just have some surgical tape in case she pulls out her button and I have to put like some gauze or pads around it if I need to get her to an ER, in case I don't have an extra button on hand. And this, I do not use this, but this is actually what her G button looks like. I just normally just keep this. People are curious. They always ask me how does it look, so I just keep one of these in here just to kind of show people, or if I'm demonstrating to like her dad or my mom or his mom what to do if it ever comes out. This is kind of like a demo button that I use for them to be able to see what to do. I also keep some saline drops. I really don't need to use these anymore, but she used to have really bad congestion, so we were constantly suctioning her nose. Shout out to Nose Frida, because that is what me and her dad used to suction her nose. But she had a TNA, which is just getting her tonsils and her adenoids removed, about 2 years ago. So we really haven't had an issue with congestion since then, but I still like to keep it just in case her nose gets a little snotty. This is just extra binky. Yes, she's 3 and still has a binky. She only uses it now when she's getting ready to be put down for a nap or get ready to go down for bed, and it's just like a soothing mechanism for her. I take it out as soon as she falls asleep and she's fine. I do keep a butter knife with me just because sometimes her feeding bags, there's a piece on her feeding bag that connects to the pump that likes to kind of stall or clog, and it's just a utensil that I use for a little hack to kind of fix it again. But otherwise, this is just my, what I call, emergency kit for when we're out and about, in case something happens and I need some access to these type of supplies. I always pack a glass bottle. I think it's about 4 ounces, and I use this sometimes for her water flushes, or if I'm getting ready to do her a bolus feed and the food that I'm using is pretty thick, I use it to kind of put it in here and kind of adds a little bit of water to it just to thinning it out a little bit so it doesn't clog her tube. Of course, I pack some spoons, like I said, just in case she does do anything by mouth. I do pack receiving blankets still, even though she's not a baby, once again, because she does tend to vomit. And sometimes I use these towels when she's in her car seat and somebody's in the back with her, or when she's already thrown up, and I kind of use it to like initially clean her up before I get her out and actually do a full-blown wipe down. I still pack her changes of clothes. I always pack at least 2 or 3 just in case, because you never know. And then of course just some travel size Vaseline, her lips get chapped or anything like that, and some travel size body wash and lotion. Once again, if she vomits or has a poop explosion or something, makes a mess, I can just clean her up really good. And I always keep this thermometer with me. This is actually the same thermometer that they use on her in the NICU, so I just kept that and I still use it to this day. And these little watermelon bags are just extra syringes and extra extension tubes and venting tubes. The same goes for this one. Extra syringes. These are the little 5 ml syringes. I just like to keep a handful of those just in case her, like I said, her button comes out. I have to have one of these in order to put it back in, so I need to make sure I have as many on hand as possible. And I think I just have like a little baby Dove soap, and that's just in case her button starts leaking or has any type of smell or odor or something. I just do a quick rub around it with some warm soap and water, and she's typically good after that. And really, this is all that I pack, like I said, unless I'm going to be spending the day at a family member's house where we're going to be there for a while, or she has like 1,000,001 appointments and therapy sessions where we're going to be out for a while. I will pack a little bit more, I'll probably pack an extra 2 or 3 more of what's already here, besides the hygiene products, of course. And that's normally how we do it. Like I said, I am in the process of getting ready to pack for a cross-country road trip we're taking in about 2 weeks, so I'm actually going to be restocking this up with everything that I would need for her while we're on the trip, so I can just have immediate access to it and don't have to go digging through all of our luggage to get to it. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.
See, I'm happy.